When you hear the words vertical shoot 'em up thrown around, chances are you picture Ikaruga or Capcom's 1940X series. But when Flump Studios hears that term, they see an opportunity to flip the genre on its head by mixing and matching creative new mechanics. That's what they did with their last game, Horizon Shift, a 2D shooter all about double jumping and switching sides. Now comes Hyper Bounce Blast, a deceptively simple follow-up where you bounce off walls and jumping on enemies is encouraged. Although it looks basic, this is one of those simple concepts that is surprisingly hard to wrap your mind around at first. It's not enough to say it combines elements from Space Invaders and Geometry Wars, because what sets this game apart is the ability to stay airborne by jumping on enemies and leaping off walls. If you've ever had fun bouncing from one Goomba to the next in Super Mario Bros., then you'll enjoy just how far this game takes that satisfying concept. There are a couple of really good reasons to stay airborne in Hyper Bounce Blast. For one thing, this is how you earn a score multiplier. The higher up in the air you make it, the faster your score will add up. Better still, a Roomba-shaped spaceship will suck all bullets in, making it incredibly difficult to get shot down. Beyond simply being fun, players will want to keep bouncing if they plan on conquering all 30 stages. This concept is twisted in a few fun ways when it comes to taking on bosses. Suddenly, it's more about dismantling the enemy's armor, so bouncing becomes more important than ever. This means you'll need to shoot down a floating boss until a series of blue platforms guide your way up to the villain's vulnerable roof. This is the kind of strategy you'll need in order to take on the Neon Army. Perhaps it was nothing but dumb luck, but Flump Studios has stumbled upon a devilishly fun mechanic. It's a little tricky at first, but bouncing around the screen doesn't feel like any other shooter I've seen before. It's almost too good, since I quickly discovered that the experience is over far too soon. 30 stages may sound like a lot, but most levels aren't very long and it won't take more than an hour to complete the adventure. I wish there were more stages that allowed me to really test my jumping skills. Even if it's all filler, I would have gladly sat through twice as many stages. While on the topic, I was also disappointed that we didn't get more firepower. While there are a few power-ups to collect, they don't do much to change the weaponry. It would have been fun to see a little bit more variety, perhaps building on the game's already unique theme. This could have been the first 2D shoot 'em up that offered a ground pound item, or gives you temporary double jumps. I enjoy what's here, but my mind started to wander as I replayed the stages over and over. The look is simple, a design that is reminiscent of Horizon Shift. The characters are easy to spot, using bright blues, reds, and greens to create a neon shooting gallery straight out of the 1980s. With the exception of a late-game boss and our ship's Hyper Blast, this shooter doesn't try to wow you with special effects. What it lacks in detailed graphics, it more than makes up for with addictive gameplay. Bouncing around the screen is a lot of fun, even if it is short-lived. To the game's credit, Hyper Bounce Blast does offer a number of extra modes and challenges. You'll be able to play through an arranged mode, where you start with only one life, a timed rush mode where you're fully powered, and a tournament mode for those looking for an extreme difficulty. You'll also run into bonus stages modeled off of Atari's classic shooter Centipede. These modes will definitely help flesh out the experience, but I still would have preferred more stages. Flump Studios has already hinted that they want to complete the trilogy with another single-screen 2D shoot 'em up. While part of me looks forward to seeing what they come up with next, the other half of me wishes they'd expand on the good ideas found in Horizon Shift and Hyper Bounce Blast. These are games that merely scratch the surface of what's possible, and it's the only thing holding me back from being more enthusiastic about this clever and wickedly original shoot 'em up. Hey, thanks for watching our video. It's hard to believe we're halfway through the week and this is our first review, but fear not, because we still have a bunch more on the way. If you're still interested in knowing more about Hyper Bounce Blast, I recommend checking out our hour-long interview with Flump Studios. We cover classic shoot 'em ups, their past gameography, sitcoms, math, Assassin's Creed, and so much more. Oh, and we're going to be hosting an exclusive contest where you can win a lot of Flump goodness. Flump goodness kind of sounds like a porn genre. Anyway, you should click the subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.